All right, so I'm in the parking lot of a diner because they've got Wi-Fi. It's starting to be a rainy day, so I'm not hiking today. I'm not gonna hike on wet rocks. I'm in Connecticut because of the rainy day. I'm skipping the Rocky Mile from New York to Connecticut, miles, plural. So I'm up here because that's where I'm gonna start after the rain. So that's what I'm doing up here in Connecticut. I was in Kent yesterday, but then I found a trailhead outside of town and spent the night there. But so I spent a few days hiking in New York after the last video. One weird thing I saw was a motorcycle at a shelter. And it's weird because there wasn't like any, sometimes there's like forest roads or fire roads or ways that you can get vehicles up to the top of the hill, but this just had like really tiny trail, lots of big rocks. So I'm not really sure how the motorcycle got there, and I wanted to go like, hey, what's up with the motorcycle? But I got like really bad vibes coming out of that shelter as I was going past and noticed it. So I just quietly kept walking and went down the hill and never knew the mystery of the motorcycle, and I guess I never will. So there's that. There's a picture. I'm gonna put my hand down so I don't have to hold it quite so high up in the air. There's a picture coming up of the Telephone of the Wind, and it has a little poem about, it's like a little wall-mounted rotary dial phone about how you can call someone you're grieving. I'm not gonna cry. And it was more intense than I thought. I picked it up, dialed some old numbers, talked to some people. Didn't talk to. I'm not like talking to ghosts. Said things to people that were very cathartic. And then there's some people alive who I can't really say these words to right now. So I said words to people that was also very healing. That I can't say to them otherwise. So I spent some time just talking on a dead phone in the middle of the woods crying. I didn't think it was gonna affect me again, but it did. So there. I know there's a couple of those around. I think there's one somewhere in Nashville. It's just, you don't think about dialing the number and that muscle memory being so intense, but it is. So there was that. I've been doing a lot of crying and hiking and healing and hiking lately. So I'm glad I'm not in the bubble because I'm just like walking in this beautiful path, like downhill or flat on a grassland or something, and just tears falling. And it's not like I'm going up a hill or just fell or some reason that you could see for the tears. So I'm just glad to cry by myself without an audience. Two cool things I saw. One was Nuclear Lake, which sounds ominous. I think when I looked it up, it had something to do with plutonium, that they either, I don't know if you make plutonium or you do something with plutonium. And I think at some point it got in the lake, hence the name Nuclear Lake. But the government has deemed it safe to swim in. But I always feel like if the government's the one making things toxic, they shouldn't be the ones to be able to say it's now non-toxic. So I just took pictures of the lake, which was really pretty, but I did not drink any of the water or swim in it. And I saw a couple people fishing, and I was thinking, man, I don't think I'd fish in a lake called Nuclear Lake that at one point had plutonium poisoning or whatever. I don't know if you can poison the water. I guess you can. And then the last cool thing I saw, which was also a cool moment, is the Dover oak, and it's right on the road, and it's the largest tree that you come across on the Appalachian Trail to New York. It's about 2 miles from where there's the Appalachian Trail train station. It's this tiny little, I put a picture of this tiny little train station where you can take a train and just hop off on the Appalachian Trail, or if you're on trail, you can jump on the train and go into the city. But about 2 miles before that, south of there, is the Dover oak. And so I was standing across the street about to take a picture of it. And so as I took the picture and I looked at it, I saw this, because was like a bunch of cars, but no people. So I take a picture and I look at the picture and there's this woman in it. And I was like, where did she come from? Where is this woman in this picture? And she was just kind of staring at me. So I look, I'm like, oh, she is there. Like, it's a real person. It's not a ghosty. And she stood at the end of the road. So we're like across this 2-lane road from each other. And she's just staring at me. And I thought, man, this is kind of like a creeper. What is she doing? First, she just shows up in my photo. And now she's just staring at me. Is she a ghost? What's going on? And I thought she was like scared to cross the road. There's no traffic or whatever. Because she wasn't coming towards me. She's just standing there staring at me. So I was like, well, I'll cross the road. So I crossed the road and she didn't say hi or anything. And so I said, hello. And she said, would you like a peach or some Skittles? And it took a second for me to like process that, because I thought, like, surely she just said hello. What is this, peach and Skittles? But I was like, yeah, I'll take a peach. She like takes off her little running vest and like digs through everything. He hands me a peach and a paper towel. And she's like, there's a trash can at the train station. I was like, yeah, it's like 2.5 miles, right? She's like, yeah. So I ate that peach and carried that trash all the way the 2.5 miles to the train station. But the funny thing about that train station is that I had parked there the night before and had shuttled south for my hike north. And the train was coming by about every hour, and you're parked, I don't know, 20, I'm bad at feet, but like maybe 15, 20 feet from the actual tracks. And it's a very loud, very fast train if it's not stopping at that tiny little stop, which it only stopped there like twice. So you feel like, or at least I do, because my head is in the trunk of my car and I was backed into my parking spot, but it just feels like this train is running you over. So I had finally like fallen into a really deep sleep. I think the train stopped running after midnight or something. And at 5:36, it went by so fast and it was so loud in the whistle. I just woke up knowing I'm going to see Jesus because I'm getting hit by a train. So then I was very awake and could not get back to sleep. So I went down the street to the deli for bacon, egg, and cheese. But that was like a scary moment. It felt really scary, even though there was no reason to be scared except waking up from a dead sleep, feeling like you're getting run over by a train. So there was lots of like waterfalls and rocks and lots of boardwalks. There's been so many boardwalks in like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York so far. I kind of like the boardwalks. Some of them are halfway sketchy, like I said before, where it like goes down into the swampy mud and then it's kind of wobbly. But then some of these ones over the last couple days, like the boards are old and they're very bouncy, and then you see some that are broken and like pieces out of them. And then as they get higher up and they're not just kind of right by the ground, you're just hoping your leg's not going to fall through as it cracks. So it's kind of adventure-y while you're just walking on boards. And I have yet to find someone coming towards me on the boardwalks, because some of them are quite long. And I don't really know what the etiquette is on boardwalks. Like hiking etiquette is if you're climbing uphill and someone's coming downhill, the downhill people move out of the way because the uphill person is working harder to get up the hill. Now, most of the time when I'm coming uphill, I'm like, you can come down, I need a break, and I pull to the side and let them pass. But I'm thinking like a boardwalk, sometimes it's just 2 skinny pieces of wood and you put one, your left foot on the left one and your right foot on the right one, and you keep walking. So I don't know what the etiquette is. My guess is that you pull off to one side and they kind of like do a little balance beam routine in front of you, which could be entertaining. But I'm just hoping to like never have to know what the etiquette is and just not be in the bubble and around a lot of people. So that is like the end of my New York hiking. And I've made a hiking schedule, and I told my shuttle driver, like, if there's rain or like today's thunderstorms all day long, that's just not what I need to be hiking in the mud and the rain and stuff. But I don't need to like take a 0 every time, but I don't want to keep skipping miles either. So it'll be like, can I get enough hiking done in the morning before the rain comes, or in the afternoon? And I'll just have to figure out how that goes. Because at some point I need to be done in Katahdin like by mid-September, because I have a life that I would like to get back to. I don't know what it will look like when I get back there, but I also have a trip to Ireland in October coming up. And I'm gonna go look at the Ireland Way, which is only 1,000 kilometers, and see what that is, and maybe walk a little bit of that and go over there and get some stories, and I'll post those here as well. So anyway, New York's done, on to Connecticut, and then I think after Connecticut is Massachusetts, and so a little more than halfway done, but still have a lot of miles to walk.